In 2017, I walked away from the Jehovah's Witness religion, and this led to me also walking away from Christianity. Let's unpack what happened. Hello beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Monica for those who are new. If you are a returning subby, welcome back. As mentioned, I left the Jehovah's Witnesses in 2017, and when I left that religion, honestly, I didn't think I was going to walk away from Christianity. However, I ultimately did. Let me just quickly unpack my JW or Jehovah's Witness journey. I have other videos on my channel that speak more into detail, but for those who are new, let me just quickly give you a recap, and then let's get into after that why I left Christianity. So in 2017, I walked away from the Jehovah's Witness religion after learning about the Royal Commission and the CSA problem that the religion has. But there were other things that also bothered me. It bothered me how the religion was rooted in racism and how black people were not allowed in the beginning of the religion, the failed prophecies of this religion, and just how it divided people even further. Like, the Jehovah's Witnesses love talking about how they are a religion that is quite diverse and welcomes everyone. However, the way they treat people that are not part of the religion really did not sit well with me, especially homophobia, racism, and just how anti-black the religion was, and how it also lacked Ubuntu. Like, maybe as someone who doesn't understand Ubuntu or who doesn't know Ubuntu, it might be like a foreign concept, but if you're an African person or someone who understands the concept of Ubuntu, you really quickly understand how the Jehovah's Witnesses truly lack the love of being in community with everyone around them. Yes, they enjoy being in community with each other, but even that community is truly not a community truly based on love and caring for each other. So there are a myriad of reasons why I left the Jehovah's Witnesses, but that's just a quick synopsis of why I chose to walk away from the Jehovah's Witnesses, along with also finding out that, hey, Charles Taze Russell, the founder of the Jehovah's Witnesses, was a Zionist. Crazy, I know. So how did this lead to me then walking away from Christianity completely? Because a lot of people who walk away from the Jehovah's Witness religion tend to also now then identify with Christianity still, but they just choose to look for a different religion. For me, it was quite honestly scary to associate myself with another religion. I did kind of try, I did think of it when I left, but I never honestly involved myself with any other religion after I left. I realized quite quickly that, you know what, all religions in my eyes are a sham. Now, I'm not trying to convince anyone, I'm just sharing my story. If you have a different perspective, feel free to share it in the comment section. We don't have to be nasty with each other, we're just sharing our perspectives. But for me, all religions are quite dividing, or they cause division amongst people, and Christianity specifically, because that's what I really know, unlike Buddhism, Islam, or other religions. Like, Christianity is truly what I know and what I've been exposed to since birth. So I realized for me that there are just quite a lot of issues when it comes to Christianity. I'm going to highlight the following points, 3 things specifically. I want to talk about how Christianity is anti-black and rooted in racism. Secondly, I want to talk about how religion divides us even further as people. And lastly, how it makes us look for help or for salvation or being saved outside of ourselves, or how we are made to think that God is outside of us. I'll explain further. So let's start with how Christianity is anti-black and rooted in racism. For those that don't know, the Atlantic slave trade, when Africans were stolen from Africa, was facilitated by the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church is as rich as it is. It has so much because of the money they were able to create from stealing people and placing them in other countries or other parts of the world. By stealing Africans, they were able to become so rich. So how do you now subscribe to a religion that does so much harm to your people? So for me as a black person, it's difficult to grasp the concept of Christianity. Like, how do I believe in a God that doesn't really protect me, that doesn't really care for me the way that this God actually cares for, like, white people, for example? So things like that always sprung up in my mind, and when I decided to walk away, I was able to really rationalize these thoughts, and it was easier for me to walk away. As a black person, I never felt seen. The black experience was never acknowledged in the Jehovah's Witness religion, and I still feel it's the same within Christianity. I feel like when you become a Christian, you really forsake a lot of what it means to be black. Ubuntu, you know, we unlearn a lot of those things. So walking away from Christianity as a black person for me was just a no-brainer, that you know what, this is not for me. Honestly, I think it's for another race of people. I think it'll benefit them, but for me specifically, it's just not going to work. So now let's get into Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the concept that I am because you are. We live within community. And one thing I love about Ubuntu is that it's also at the center of African spirituality. African spirituality encapsulates what it means to be an African and to live in harmony with nature, with people, you know, in community, everything. And that is Ubuntu as well. I am because you are. So those two concepts, African spirituality and Ubuntu, you know, for me really resonates with me as a person. And I realized that Christianity just lacks all of this. African spirituality welcomes people however they may be. You can be trans, you can be gay, you can be a lesbian, you can be anyone, you can be straight, you can be black, you can be white, you can be Asian, you can literally be anything. African spirituality makes room for you. African spirituality says as you are enough. And when I learned about, you know, decolonization and unlearning a lot of things that we have learned through colonization, I also realized there and then that, you know what, Christianity was definitely a tool to subdue us as black people, and I no longer wanted to be part of it. I wanted to get to know God through my own avenues, through the avenues that my ancestors practiced, and in a way that truly resonates with me. And African spirituality makes room for that. A lot of people, when they think about African spirituality, is that they think it's just voodoo, it's witchcraft, you know, all of these things, but it's not that. African spirituality is everything. African spirituality includes astrology, it includes communicating with your ancestors, it includes worshiping deities, yes, and it includes living in harmony with nature. Like, African spirituality basically makes room for everything. Whatever resonates with you as a person, African spirituality holds room for you. And that's what I love about it. So for me specifically, I'm still trying to figure out what truly resonates with me, but that's what I love about African spirituality. Like, I'm not obligated to have a decision right now. So lately I've been dibbling and dabbling in astrology. I've been learning about, you know, nature. I've been learning about my ancestors and how they used to live before colonization. Like, I've just opened my mind to everything, and it's quite interesting, like learning that, you know what, Africa is actually the birthplace of everything, like the birthplace of civilization. We invented a lot of things that were stolen. Guys, I even learned that a lot of ancient Egypt is actually inspired by Southern Africa. Like, mathematics was actually invented right here in Southern Africa. Like, Southern African women, we invented mathematics. There's a bone that was discovered called the Libombo bone, and this bone archaeologists found and realized that women were using it actually to calculate their menstrual cycle, and that's how mathematics was birthed. So it's quite interesting when you start to open up your mind and you try to learn about the world through a decolonized lens. My last point, I want to talk about how Christianity makes us look for help outwards. I realized this a lot, especially when I was still a Jehovah's Witness, that Christianity really emphasizes this concept that we are not good enough as people, that we constantly have to work hard to seek validation from God. And I realized that this was a tactic to have people constantly feel that they can't help themselves, they can't do anything for themselves. Like, anything that you need help with, whether it's changing your life, whether it's your health, whatever the case may be, you need help outwards. And what this actually does is that it creates a generation of people, or a collective of people, that are very much easy to control, easy to manipulate, and easy to just feed information like you're not good enough, you need to do this so that God will love you more, appreciate you, all of those things. I believe that God is within all of us. Like, all of us, as we walk this planet, we are a manifestation of God in different forms. And if you are going through anything, if you need help, if you need advice, if you need knowledge, if you just need direction, all of that can come from within you. You just need to learn how to strengthen your intuition, learn how to listen to yourself, learn how to trust your gut, learn how to read the situation, learn that you are a powerful person. I believe all of us are creators. Like, there's so many things I can talk about when it comes to Christianity, but those are the 3 points that I truly think about most of the time, that we are just really focusing on a religion that really divides us further as a people. This religion does not care about you as a black person, and it's just making you look for help outside. You know, there's pastors always who just are like doing shady things, or church leaders who are doing shady things. Like, how can we not learn from this? So yeah, that is the end of my video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please leave me a comment or a question in the comment section and let's have a conversation. I'll see you in the next one.